Pleased to be joined now by the head man there in Fort Worth at TCU, the undefeated TCU Horned Frogs. Sonny Dykes joins the program. Coach, what's going on, man? How are you?
Not too much, Joel. Just wrapped up Wednesday practice and getting ready to check it out, and seemed like we had a good day.
Hey, well, listen, I love it, and those good days tend to build on themselves when you're having such a good year, and the momentum is going. Listen, you guys are on a stretch right now where you're playing huge game week after week, right? A couple of weeks ago, OU's rolling in, and obviously you guys were ready for that one. That was an incredible performance, in particular by your offense. Last week, you've got to go on the road. You know, it's a game day game. It's all of a sudden it turned into this massive thing. Now you got to get right back up for another big one in Oklahoma State. Are your guys ready to rebound that quickly?
Yeah, we think so. I mean, we'll find out. I thought our guys did a good job of coming in on Sunday and having a great mentality, really having a good practice Sunday, getting rested up Monday, doing the things that we have to do to recover, get ourselves right to be able to have a really good practice today, Tuesday. And so came back out and did it again today. So I think we're in a good place. This team has been a lot of fun to coach because they really enjoy playing football. They enjoy practicing. They enjoy being around each other. And I think that's helped us get off to a fast start. And oh, by the way, after we play Oklahoma State this week, we have Kansas State here coming off of a bye.
Exactly.
So 4 weeks in a row of ranked football teams. So it's just life of the Big 12 right now.
Well, and it's I don't think that there is a break. I mean, right now, if you look at the standings, OU's last in the conference. If anyone thinks OU is the easiest team to beat in the conference, I think they're lying to themselves, even if they're not playing great like they weren't last week in the Red River game. Have you ever been in a conference in your years in college football that was this deep? There's legitimately just not one game that you can roll the helmets out, as they say.
Yeah. I've never seen anything like it, honestly. I think there's just such a small difference between the teams in this league. Everybody's very competitive. There's a lot of really good coaches in the league that are getting guys to play at a really high level. And some teams, quite frankly, are probably playing better than their talent. And again, that has to do with the coaching and the programs that these guys have built here. And so every single week, you better show up. You better play at a high level. You better play a winning brand of football. You better take care of the ball on offense, and you better get some turnovers on defense and explosive plays. Just all the stuff, really matters. Special teams in this league, there's just a very small differential between, whoever's going to win the league and whoever's going to finish last.
And here you are, though, in a win this week. I know you won't focus on things like this, and maybe you do, behind closed door. I certainly do. A win this week would go a long ways in putting you in one of those top 2 seats to potentially play for a Big 12 championship. It just would, because Oklahoma State is also right up there in a team that I expect and you probably expect to be there in the end as well. Mike Gundy just does a far too good a job for them to kind of fall off the wayside. So having said that, here you are at home. Now, in my podcast this week, I talked about how good you guys have been at home. Now, granted, you've played 3 true road games, which is more than a lot of teams, but you're averaging 57 points per game at home. You're the number 3 total offense in the country. You're the number 3 scoring offense in the country. You're number 1 in America in terms of yards per play. What has made this offense in particular so successful?
Well, it starts up front for us. We've got a good offensive line. I mean, the guys have a ton of experience. The group is really playing well together. Kind of goes back to what I said earlier. They're playing really complementary football off of each other. The sum of the parts, I think, is greater than they are individually, and so it begins there for us. Max Duggan has done a fantastic job of running our offense. He's just done a really, really good job taking care of the ball. Makes great decisions, distributes the ball to a lot of guys, and doesn't force throws and doesn't force decisions. And then we have a lot of speed and a lot of playmakers on offense. And so it's been fun. It seems like somebody different steps up every single week. Last week was Quentin Johnson, in the passing game, and Kendre Miller in the run game a couple of weeks before that. And so, we're balanced. We can run the football. Our guys have done a good job of pass protection for most of the season as well. And as I said, Max has done a good job of getting the ball to guys that can make plays. So, there's a lot of room for improvement. I think we all see that. We all realize that. We've got to do a good job of stringing drives together. People are going to make us string drives together. That's what Kansas did last week.
Yeah.
And we've made a lot of big plays, so we've got to be able to execute at a really high level as well.
You're making it look easy in your first year at TCU, and I know it's not. I'm not trying to say that it is. Lincoln Riley's making it look easy right now in his first year at USC, and yet kind of the consistent is that you've got these playmaking quarterbacks, right? And when you're right at that position, let's call a spade a spade. Like when you're right at that position, you got a chance. And in particular in a league in which, there's a lot of teams that are similar. So tell me about Max, how well he's really playing and what does he mean to your ball club, both as a leader and a player?
Yeah, I mean, Joel, you're right. I mean, you go and you look at a 7th grade football game all the way to the NFL. Whichever quarterback plays the best, that team's usually going to win.
Yeah.
And that's just the way it is in today's football. So it begins there. And Max, the great thing about Max is he's got a lot of experience. He's a really talented guy. I think he is really starting to become comfortable in what we're trying to do offensively. And the big thing, and which I think is probably the most important thing of all, is he's just got a lot of confidence. He's got a lot of confidence in himself and his teammates and the scheme and what we're asking him to do. And that's really carrying over to good performances on Saturday. And it all begins with hard work and what he did in the offseason. We named Chandler Morris the starter. Chandler gets hurt in the second half against Colorado. Max comes in, picks up where we thought he would pick up. We knew he'd get a chance at some point to play this season, and he's played incredibly well. And, it's fun to see him have the success he's having right now because he's a great leader. He's a mentally tough guy, physically tough guy. And just a winner, makes everybody around him better.
Yeah, I mean, I'm in to talk to you about that. Like, I've gotten to take my boys to one game at Colorado in their lifetime because of my job, right? Like, I can't take them to Colorado. I take them this year to the Friday night game against TCU, and you ruined our night. So thanks a lot, Coach. I really appreciate it.
Hey, we hung in there for a while. I mean,
you were trying for us in that first half, but no, once Max got in the game, you guys played great in the second half. And really since that second half of the first week of the season, you haven't looked back, in particular on the offensive side. Listen, I can't tell you how much I enjoy talking with you all the time, but certainly today, I appreciate your time here during a busy week, and best of luck this week against Oklahoma State, bud.
Thanks, Joel. Always good to see you and appreciate it. And hopefully we'll run into each other again soon.
Hey, I would love to come to Fort Worth, so give me a chance to maybe bring my golf clubs. All right, Coach, thank you so much. There he goes, Sonny Dykes, head coach of the TCU Horned Frogs. Hey, thanks for watching. If you enjoy that clip, make sure you click subscribe somewhere down here. From game highlights to exclusive interviews and rankings, we've got everything you need as a college football fan right here, College Football on Fox.